So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the doTERRA people to introduce our panelists.
Please welcome Victor Bedell, Matt Hall, Dr. Jake Shupe, and Sun Zhong.
Yay! We have a great group of panelists today, and I'm so proud to be here with you. We're excited about the future, and I wanted to start off with Dr. Jake. Would you mind sharing? You got your fan club here, Dr. Jake.
Yes, I do.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind maybe talking a little bit about your background, what you do professionally, and talking about how you bring men into doTERRA.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a chiropractor. My wife, Dr. Christy, and I, we've been practicing for over 10 years. And we started in 2020, and as many of you know, there was a lot of changes with business in 2020. We saw government lockdowns, shutdowns. I saw colleagues of mine that couldn't practice for a while. And that was really concerning to me, that even though we have a good income and we make a good amount of money, if that ever happened to me, then I couldn't pay my bills. And so that triggered me to want to diversify my income and protect my family financially and not run into a scenario like that in the future. So we started doTERRA, and then as far as engaging men in the business, I know a lot of other doctors, health professionals, and that's kind of where I go to talk to other men to bring into the business as other doctors. But also, I would say the biggest way that we bring men into the business is on the customer side. Since we own our practice, we have intricately, well, one of the things I'm probably most proud of is how we've combined doTERRA into our chiropractic clinic and the systems that we have there. And 40% of our patients are men, so we incorporate that into their chiropractic care plans. So we're getting our men on supplements, we're getting them even using essential oils, and so we have a lot of men that we're engaging through the customer side of it.
Wonderful. We'll ask you a little bit more about the products in a little bit, and share with us how you're sharing the products in just a moment. Victor, welcome to the panel. Glad to have you here. Let's give it up for Victor Bedell.
Appreciate it. Happy to be here representing the Latino community.
Victor, you have a unique way of doing business. You're part-time with doTERRA, correct?
Well, yeah. Actually, I would say I don't even do the business per se. I kind of support my wife to be as successful leader as she is. So that's what I do best. And most leaders always tell me, like, I wish I had a husband like you who can help me and support my business. So that's what I do.
Talk a little bit about your law practice and kind of the technique similar to Dr. Jake. You know, you use your business as a way to be able to talk to men, encourage men, and maybe bring men into doTERRA.
Definitely. Actually, I got the idea of modeling that way of leveraging from a chiropractor, and that's what I do. Basically, I offer the opportunity and the products to some of my clients in my law practice, like Eric said, and if they buy a product, if they buy a kit, I offer them actually a discount on my legal services. So that's what I do. So I'm always prospecting, and that basically has allowed us to bring new customers, new clients, quite often into our organization. In fact, Eric, once I became the top enroller of our organization by doing that. So,
can you imagine? I remember one time we were on a trip together, and we were talking about you being part-time, and I think that month you'd enrolled
51 people.
How many would you like? How many of you would like to have a part-time person enrolling 51 people? That's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, that's right. But I do it with passion, actually. I'm an immigration attorney. That's what I do. And I always say that it's a good time to remind all of us that we need to have a strong why. And my wife, Christina, and I, we have a strong why, which is to help Latino immigrants be able to, be healthy and wealthy, and I truly believe doTERRA is a perfect vehicle to achieve either or both.
I agree. Nice job. Thank you. Soon? Talk to me about what got you interested in doTERRA. Share a little bit with the audience about why you're here with doTERRA and how you build your business.
Well, they say happy wife, happy life, right? I started with my doTERRA. It's not too much of a business. And my wife brought doTERRA in our family to our life 2014. And quickly we fall in love with the product. And I've been watching her doing many, many stuff before, but I never get involved with. But this time I found that she's really, really crazy about the product, right? Put a little sticker on the bottle, learn every oil, how to use it, smell the oil every single day 5 times, 10 times, and put a diffuser in her every room. So, you know, she's focused on it too much. I needed to take care of it, some part of her work from her. I become a cook more, take care of my kids more, and start with helping her. But later on, thank you. But later on, I gained so many benefits from our business. Yeah, well, I'll get back to you for now. We'll talk about the detail later.
One of the things that you do is you're big about leading by example. You want to show people a good, healthy lifestyle, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I remember when I called you to ask you to be on the panel, tell everybody what you were doing when I called and how you just ignored my call.
Yeah, that's me.
Here, I'll tell you from my side. I'm sitting there, and it goes straight to voicemail. And it's like, oh, he just ignored me.
Yeah.
So, but there's a story behind it.
It was about 2 weeks ago. Eric was calling me. You know, I couldn't answer the phone because I'm a big tennis fan. And I was in the middle of action in the Arch Stadium in New York to watch the U.S. Open. I said, no, Eric, ignore it.
He made the right call, didn't he?
And I was just sending him a message, I'm a little busy now. I'll call you back later. And the next, he said, okay, don't worry, bro. It was follow-up. That was the first time. The second time, I was even other place. I'm in other place, busy for the tennis. But that was the story. Yeah. I mean, we try. What attracting man? I try to be an example. You know, my life is a blessing and changed hugely by doing doTERRA business. I've been, the whole life's been changed. The way we're acting, the way I can do many things I cannot even imagine I will do it before. So I'm on my road all the time. I do the thing I love to do. That's the story happened.
Thank you very much. Matt Hall, thank you for being on the panel with us today.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
It sounds like you brought all your Brazilian friends and everybody else that loves you. So, I got a question for you. Tell us a little bit about how you got started with doTERRA, and talk to us about kind of the things that you do to attract men and some of the business techniques. You have some interesting statistics that I want you to share too.
Yes, absolutely. I can share those. So our journey in doTERRA started with this beautiful lady right here who fell in love with the products, and she invited me to sit down with Andy and Natalie Goddard. And initially, I was sitting down to support her. So she's the
person that should be up here.
She should be up here because she recruited the man.
Okay,
yep.
There we go.
Absolutely. And honestly, it was the first conversation I had with the Goddards. It was when they shared with me their income. At the time, they were making a lot less than they make today, but still, you know, $70,000 a month at the time. And I was like, wow, that's
pretty good.
How's that even possible? Yep. If I could, as a student, 22 years old, I thought if I could earn 10% of that, it would change my life. So I said, tell me what to do. And in the beginning, my initial motivation for building together with Shantae was that I wanted to spend time with her. So that was always the driving thing during those first few years that made me involve myself fully in the business. And I really love the fact that we haven't separated roles as much. A lot of couples will recommend that, but we've found it to be really useful for us to learn all of the aspects of building the business. So I teach classes, she teaches classes. I recruit, she recruits. I support, she mentors, right? We both share the roles, so.
Great.
And then for the statistics, nobody told me doTERRA was a women's company. I came into doTERRA, I saw 6 male owners, I saw founding distributors that were male. I started watching the videos of Rod Richardson and Seth Risenmay, and so by following male role models, we've brought a lot of men into the business. So when I just broke down the numbers of 17 presidentials that we have on our team, 9 of them, it's the man who primarily drives the business, 5 are couples who drive it together, and only 3 are women. Of 47 Blue Diamonds, 18 are men almost exclusively, 16 couples and 13 women, so about a third of each. So we have a lot of men across our team that build the business on a high level.
Would you mind? No, absolutely. Those are phenomenal numbers. Congratulations. Is that a specific strategy? Could you maybe talk a little bit about your strategy? I know you've talked before about trying to maintain 100 conversations. I know that you spend time deliberately recruiting on a daily basis or inviting on a daily basis. Can you just talk a little bit about that for us?
Yeah.
So they can get an idea of what you do?
Sure, yeah, on a day-to-day basis, that's what I do. I spend 1 hour to 2 hours talking to people that are not yet enrolled in doTERRA. Personally, I talk to a lot of men because that's more comfortable for me. And if, especially when you're reaching out to cold market people you don't know, if I just were reaching out to a bunch of women, that might be weird for them. So I reach out to men, and I love working with men.
What do you say
for
to
them
men?
and for Shantae?
Both, probably. But really, I just start a conversation, and I ask people about their lives. I ask them about, a lot of times I approach doTERRA with people with the business first because that's my biggest passion. And so I'll talk to people about what they do in business, how their life is going, how they monetize, social media or different things like that to get the conversations rolling. So, and I think it's the way that I approach men and I communicate with them as if this is a manly business, and they never question if it is or isn't.
Do you talk about products? Do you talk about business? Do you let them lead the conversation? How does that go for the people that you're having these 100 conversations with?
Yeah, I've done both. I've recruited a lot of men for the products. MetaPower has been an amazing recruitment tool for men for me, and I do lead more with the business. So.
The rest of you guys, what specific strategies are you using? Victor, maybe talk about what your strategy is. I know that you're on social media.
Well, this year I began trying something different. I put together a small course, a basic business law course for Latino entrepreneurs. And what I did throughout the course was to compare numbers for actual US business. Basically what I show is like how much will it take, how much will it cost someone to actually get a business started, how much will it cost to, for right now for an entrepreneur to get a business going. And I compare that, Eric, to our doTERRA business. And the numbers basically speak, by themselves. So basically almost everyone understood in each class that I've taught that, it makes sense to be leveraged by a company like ours. And then at the end of the class, what I did was offer a kit with some special perks, some bonuses, kind of like time with me and my wife, and some pre-recorded videos that we had, etc. And it has worked so far. I mean, on each class, I have enrolled about 12 people per class. So that's another strategy that I've used.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you. We can talk about social media later.
Yeah, but in your class, what are you talking about? You're teaching classes, obviously. What are you talking? How do you kind of lead the discussion?
Well, like I said, as an immigration attorney, I've done a lot of actually investor visas. So the numbers that I use are real numbers.
Yeah.
So most Latino men, they like to see numbers. So they like to see, what's in there for them. Yep. So basically, like I said, when they see the numbers, they understand that it makes sense, the investment that we need to make on doTERRA versus, the type of regular business. So I teach basic business skills, such as how to actually incorporate a company, how to, to take better advantage of taxation and things like that. And people do appreciate that. And when it comes from me, as a man, and I show them the opportunity, then they realize that what I'm saying, it's actually serious business, and I tell them, my wife, makes 2 or 3 times what I make as an attorney.
Wow.
So it
that's
makes
amazing.
sense for them.
Soon, talk a little bit about your strategy. Do you have a specific strategy, or how do you go about?
Strategy for tracking the man or some?
No, just strategy. Yes, for that.
But I don't think any of us is tracking the man more easy than the women's, right?
But talk a little bit about your strategy on building doTERRA. And I think your strategy is, it doesn't matter if it's man or woman, you have pretty much the same way of doing it, do you not?
Yeah, the strategy for the business, I keep everything simple. It's easy to pass the message. And in our team, we have a different role. My wife is a superstar first. She's teaching the education, most of the time teaching the class about education or product. And I'm work mostly to teach people how to build up this business. The placement, the strategy, how to earning more money with the same volume, explain and teaching our compensation plan. And plus my role is pretty flexible. Yeah, I'm often joking, my wife do whatever she loves to do, and I do the rest of what we have to do, right? I could be the photographer, cook, and driver,
Babysitter.
Expedia, GPS, and Chat GPT, whatever, you name it.
There you
So, the business trick is you have to learn. Keep learning. If it's something you don't learn, you're gonna fall back, and that's my responsibility.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Dr. Jake, do you mind talking a little bit about the products that you recommend to men? Maybe how do those discussions go? What are you talking about? I know that you're talking about specific needs when they come in, and I don't want to step over any laws on the medical side.
Sure.
But can you talk a little bit about what you recommend, how you recommend products to men, and what are some of the common things you're seeing?
Well, I'll say that it's not, I don't really think of it like men's products and women's products. Like, first of all, like the person comes in and there's an individual need. So the products are going to be based off of the need there. And there's very few products, in my opinion, in doTERRA besides women's hormone blends and specific reproductive things. There's only a very few where I look at them as like female products versus male products. So whatever the need is that needs to be solved and addressed, the product is going to be recommended there. And my wife, Dr. Christy, and I, we start kind of broad. We look at foundational health. And so a lot of our supplement packages, if you will, are very similar because there's foundational needs that need to be addressed for every human being, man and woman. So yes, they are tailored a little bit specifically at the beginning, but a lot of them, they're foundational packages that look really similar.
The reason why I'm asking the question is I think sometimes all of us think, I'm talking to a lady, maybe I ought to recommend these products. I'm talking to a man, maybe I ought to recommend these products. In your mind, the way that you summarize this is there's not really a difference.
Address the need in front of you.
Yeah. And we have the right products to address that need. Do you have clients that will probably jump on VMG when you get back?
Absolutely. We're very excited about that. In fact, we were just texting my wife during the session yesterday morning, and some of our care plan packages will be changing next week. So we're excited about VMG Plus. She's been begging, she's been crying about this for a long time because a lot of people, they want to be able to take these supplements, without, lots of pills. I just have to tell this story really quick. My wife despises swallowing capsules. So she'll literally take the capsules, she empties them all out and chops up the E omega and puts it in this like gross concoction of like a smoothie, and she like downs it. Like that's how committed to taking the LLV she is. And so now you've made my wife's life a lot happier. So thank you for that. But I'm super excited about the E omega plus. The upgrades there and the VMG Plus, our packages will be changing immediately, and we're thrilled about it.
That's great. Thank you. You know, one of the things that I do is I've gotten accustomed to taking so many vitamins. I don't know if you guys can do this too, but I can just do it all in one take. Just throw them all in there, swallow them down.
I do that.
I can't do
Same
seven.
here.
And now I have my
Here.
baby who actually he feeds one each at a time to me. So
There you go.
That's good.
I'm going to shift gears for just a second. Matt, I want to just ask you, what makes doTERRA an attractive business for men? What is it about the business itself that's so attractive? I mean, you highlighted it. I think it's pretty, self-evident for all of us that have been around. But for some of the new people that are out, there's a little bit of stigma about MLM. There's a little bit of challenge about companies. Maybe it's a Utah-based company, or are you going places? Is there international opportunities? Am I too late?
Yeah.
How do you answer those?
Yeah, good question. So I like to think about our business in three categories that it really helps us out. And you have to think, man, woman, whoever it is, they're thinking about what they're going to get, their own benefit. So the balance of income, lifestyle, and impact. I like to think about those three categories. And that's what I oftentimes will approach people with is, okay, you're a doctor, you have a fantastic income, but how's your lifestyle? How's your impact? You're impacting one person at a time. That's on a deep level, but what if you could broaden your impact, and what if you could have a better lifestyle? Maybe somebody that has a lower income, but they have a great lifestyle. I can say, hey, this is the perfect business in my belief system to balance these three categories of income, lifestyle, and impact. That's how I talk to people about it.
Would you mind maybe talking about how you presented those concepts before you had the income or the lifestyle or any of the benefits?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
So guys, I don't think your result does not matter to the person who's in front of you. It really doesn't, okay? People think like once I get to diamond, once I get to blue diamond, that's when you're gonna be more magnetic. And maybe like 2% difference, but in my experience, the biggest thing you have to do is help them understand that it can work for them. They need to see that it's possible. And so there's so many testimonials, there's so much evidence and social proof for people that it can work. You just need to put that in front of them. So oftentimes if I meet someone, I'll try to put them in front of someone that I know in doTERRA that's really successful, and that will help to bridge the gap. It doesn't matter what my results are, it matters what doTERRA is bringing, the results doTERRA is bringing to others. So.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Victor.
Yep.
Let's talk about Latino men. Do you mind talking a little bit about the Latino community and how you're growing and building in that area?
Oh boy. So the Latino man is not easy to deal with. Okay, we grew up with a strong belief that men need to work and women need to stay at home and do nothing. It's kind of like a macho style. I don't know if you know this, but the word macho is actually a word in Spanish, so it's hard to deal with that. But things are changing, and what I think it's very important is that we show the money, like I said earlier. We need to present the opportunity, and they need to understand that the benefit of this beautiful business is not just for them, for you guys, but for the family as a whole, which I did early on, and that made a big difference. I did my research, I began using the products, I understood, that it was a solid company, and I think at the end of the day, that's what the Latin men or any other men out there really want to hear, that this is a solid company, that we have good products, and the compensation plan is amazing.
Yeah, thank you for that. Soon, you have a big business in China also. Talk a little bit about living in North America. You live in Toronto. Talk about building international. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your insights of having an international business?
Yeah, you have to be there, unfortunately. I mean, no matter how far, how close, you have to be there, be present, to show them your effort and the dedication. I often set myself as the example. My life has changed. I want everybody to watching how they're changing. right? I'm traveling around to do the stuff I love to do, and also the business. This is the part of I fall in love with the doTERRA business. I make my own schedule, right? I can go out there, I can do the thing under my schedule. Well, even there was a last week, right? We had this little 30 minutes Zoom meeting about this panel. We all on time. Remember, we all on time. Each one opened the camera. There's a naked man. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's at least topless because the camera doesn't show the bottom part.
We're not gonna talk about who it was.
I was at the beach. Come on.
They're surrounding by the beautiful tropical
Weren't you on a
water and the kid
were on a boat,
laughing
right?
in the background. I
the-
said,
no,
what a
the
life
lake.
this guy's doing. I mean,
Welcome to the doTERRA world.
He takes business really seriously, right? You remember?
That's life. That's lifestyle. Yeah.
That's lifestyle right there. That's lifestyle.
Yeah, that's the lifestyle. And I said, I'm jealous. I want to
said the
do
same
what
thing.
he's doing.
I was the same way. It's like, I
Yeah.
wish I could be on the beach
While
with my
I'm
shirt off.
sitting in the home office
Why am I
to
sitting
do the
here?
serious meeting, and he was just sitting on the beach.
You guys are welcome to come anytime. So
Yeah.
to my office.
You know,
At the beach.
what I try to say is no matter how far your team is, you just continually to show them this is how we love the doTERRA. This is how we love this business to bring us, I don't know, should I use the freedom or it's flexible life? It's very impact to us. I mean, here's my advice. The man usually tracking by results or the processing of towards the potential result, right? We need to see some action. If you're put your showtime on your schedule, you're showing your effort and your dedication, you let them know you're dead crazy about this. And they will jump in, follow. But not only, I guess at the very beginning, they may not care about the business. They may be, they not even care about the product. They maybe not care about the money, but they do care about you. We do care about you.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. Matt, could you take a second and talk about your international business? And let me ask you that from this perspective. What would your 22-year-old self say about having the international business that you have now? Was that part of your plan? Was that a deliberate strategy, or was it just something like a wonderful surprise?
No, that was very intentional from the very beginning. I remember our first conversation around the table with the Goddards. I asked them about Brazil, for example, because I had just returned from living there for a couple years. And I said, could we do this in other markets? And so working internationally has always been a big goal for me. It's been an intention, and that's why it's become that. And in terms of how that happens or how we do that, a lot of it is just going to the place. Like I saw my mom over here. She went to India on a trip as a tourist and ended up signing up her tour guide, right? And then from there, it started a team in India. And so there's lots of different strategies and ways to do that, but it's definitely, I think it has to come from an intentional place, unless it happens by chance, somewhere in your team.
Yeah. That's a wonderful thing when it happens that way.
Sure.
Whether it's a strategy or happenstance, yeah, go for it. It's wonderful to see. Love seeing that happen, and love seeing how doTERRA can shape all of us into more of a global unit and a global organization. So that's fun for me. Dr. Jake, can I just ask you a little bit about your thoughts about men at home? Do you mind sharing a little bit about some of your thoughts and
Yeah, lots of thoughts about men at home, but one of the things that I'll say is that providing and protecting are two words that are very valuable to men. Providing and protecting your family, and a lot of times that is it's thought of like financially. Like you don't have to tell most men to work hard and to do what they can to provide financially for their families. There's another side of providing and protecting your family, and that is the health side of it, and being a leader in the home of healthcare. And I can't speak for other countries, but I can speak for what I've observed in the United States. And there's this weird thing where for some reason, a lot of the responsibility of the health of the family, like the kids and even the spouse, for some reason seems to fall on the woman. And it's been this bizarre observation that I've seen, and I think that doTERRA provides a very unique opportunity that makes it easier for us to be a leader in the home with health. Because if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of sick people in our country. And that's you, your friends, your family, people that you love and care about. And if we don't do something about it to be a good example, that's our kids and our grandkids too. So one of the reasons why I think that doTERRA provides an amazing opportunity for men is not just to provide financially, and you hear some of the numbers, and Matt just mentioned a couple of the numbers, like people being able to have the ability to make tens and tens of thousands of dollars a month. Like I just talked to a half a dozen guys this weekend, in incomes ranging from $10,000 a month to 20 to 30 to 80 to 110 to 187,000 dollars a month. So there's an opportunity to provide financially for your family, but the other side of it is to be able to be a leader in the home with your health. And there's more to providing and protecting your family than just making money. It's being a good steward of your own personal health. To not just take the load off of the woman, so that's not the only thing that they have. That's not just another thing that's solely relegated to them, but so that you can be a great example to your kids, because your kids do what they see. They don't just do what you tell them to do. And taking the products like, now VMG Plus and E Omega Plus and the supplements and using the essential oils, that's part of it, but also exercising, eating healthy, managing your stress. We've got this wellness pyramid that living the lifestyle and being a good example in the home, men, is what I think doTERRA provides an amazing opportunity to that challenge. And that's one of the reasons why I think that doTERRA is a great place for men to be.
Oh, thank you for that. I remember when I started with doTERRA, Julie Cook came over to my house and taught us about the oils. And I remember seeing Julie Cook, and I thought she was the voodoo lady. And she shared the oils with us. And I was a little younger than I am now, but my son was 13. We had one son at home. And every night after her coming over, sharing the oils with us, he would throw his big old feet up in the air, size 13 feet, and he would scream, "It's essential oil time!" And every night I would rub oils on the bottom of his feet, and it was such a blessing, and I was able to connect with him in a unique way that I never connected with the other two kids that I have.
That's a good dad right there.
Yeah.
Rubbing oils on your boys' feet.
Big old stinky feet every night. So.
Awesome.
Talk a little bit about, Victor, if you don't mind, talk a little bit about the journey you've had with doTERRA, with the products, with your business, with your wife. How has doTERRA changed you?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to talk about social media, like you asked before,
please.
because that's how Christina actually built her business. So nowadays, I would say that it's almost mandatory for all new leaders to actually be on social media. We've been able to reach customers and new leaders in more than 50 countries within our organization. And obviously that happened because of social media. So we as men, we like to consume social media as well on our own time and space. Actually, I follow Matt and some of these other guys. And
I follow you.
And I follow you. And one thing I did, which I found was very useful, was to interview some other doTERRA men. We go real and raw on the conversations, and I posted those videos. They're available on the same link within my Instagram account. And we tell new leaders, hey, tell your husbands, that they can go and watch these videos anytime they want, anywhere they want, and they can listen to other doTERRA men, understand why we do it, how we do it, and I think that has been very useful. Of course, I always remain available, Eric, to talk to any of them, either via Instagram or sometimes I jump on Zoom calls. I wear shirts most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. And it has been very useful. And some men actually reach out and they want to talk to me and see if the numbers are real. And I will tell you this, Eric, which I like to say all the time, is that my income as an attorney pays for our household expenses. But our income from doTERRA basically pays for our dreams.
All right, we're coming to the end of the panel, and I want to give you maybe just a minute or so to talk a little bit about your dreams. Soon, can you maybe start with this? We'll go to Jake and Matt, and Victor will end with you.
Sure.
But talk a little bit about your dreams and your journey, and maybe just take a minute and share with us kind of what you see the future of it, and what do you want these folks to learn from you?
We started a journey 10 years ago. Through those ranks and events, touching more and more people, on our way we learn a lot. At the first couple of years, we focused on the ranked events to earning more money, to share more product. That's our main goal and main purpose. And since later on stage, we feel we got some responsibility on the shoulder to start changing the people's life, to open more door, to show more people this is the way we should go. So our dream is we still continue to work on it. We really wish we can impact more people. It's not easy, I know, especially at the first couple of years or a couple of rank. You facing the tremendous challenge. When you looking back, when you reach the certain point of looking back, you feel that wasn't too difficult. That wasn't too challenging. We've been there, and it becomes to our very important classes. We're teaching our leader who willing to follow us to do the same. I usually promise our leader is not, I guarantee you're going to earn 10 grand in a half year. I don't do this, but I do promise them. I said, as the doTERRA leader, we have so many stairs to climb up.
Oh, yeah.
I know each step what you should do. I promise if you're willing to follow me to reach the top, I will be on your side to climb each stairs.
Yeah, I think your message is stay with the journey.
Yeah.
Stay with it.
Dr. Jake.
Journey and wish.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you for that. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Dr. Jake,
Dream
what's your dream? What do you want to accomplish here with doTERRA?
with doTERRA, create a business, an opportunity for something special for my family that can be passed down to create financial assets to help build my family legacy for my future kids and grandkids.
Love that. Matt, what are your thoughts?
My dream right now is to help other people achieve this balance that we feel like we have right now with our income, lifestyle, and impact. I want to spread that and impact the world in a positive way. And I want to do that with a lot of men. The last tip I just want to give for each of you is, are there any women out there who would like to retire their husbands? Okay. Start to shift your language. Your husbands might not want you to retire them. They might want to co-create with you.
Exactly.
So invite them into a position of power to work with you and to really focus on doTERRA from a place of power, and you'll find that co-creator. Men, they want to provide, they want to protect, and they want to go out and win battles and conquer the world. So let's bring them in.
Thank you. Victor,
Actually-
final word.
we're actually living our dream, which is to see all these beautiful Latino leaders becoming successful and reaching new goals, and it's very exciting. And final message, it's very important to leverage what we have, if possible. You know, for example, Dr. Jake, myself, we leverage our practice. Try to get your significant other to leverage, and that will help you grow. Don't push them, but invite them into the doTERRA world. Try by taking simple steps, using the products, getting to know people within the corporate world, getting to know, the doTERRA office, etc. But make sure that they understand that what we have is very valuable, and we'll continue to see, the growth of the Latino community. So,
thank you very much. I'm going to ask one favor from all of you in the audience. I want you all to stand up. I want everybody to stand up. And I want to have all of you give a rousing ovation to our panelists today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.